there and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another exciting Winners, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, whatever you want to call it haul. I found some gems today and I feel like lately it's been even more hit or miss than usual, where it's like high highs and low lows. So I've been finding some great fragrances. I've been hearing from a bunch of you guys that you've been finding great fragrances, better than even I'm finding. So I was envious and I went out on a spree and I found some good ones. So we have 4 full bottles to talk to you about. 2 of them are in sets. 2 of them aren't blind buys, which is very shocking for me, as you guys may or may not know. You probably do if you know me. So we're gonna start with the fragrances I actually know what they smell like, and they're the ones I'm most excited about. So without any further ado, if you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe. Really helps out my channel, and let's get into it. So we're gonna start with the one that I was most excited to find because I liked it at full price. And so to get it on a deal, my goodness, I was over the moon. And I did mention, because I sampled it on God knows what video on my channel, and I mentioned that like I really did like it, that it reminded me of L'Interdit, and it was totally my vibe, but that I already had Interdit Eau de Toilette and Eau de Parfum, and it's like I wasn't gonna get it for full price, but I do like it. Here we are. All I had to do was wait, and I'm talking, of course, about My Way Eau de Parfum by Giorgio Armani. This has orange blossom, bergamot, tuberose, jasmine, cedar, white musk, and vanilla. I mean, could it list any more notes I adore? I don't think so. I was so happy to find this. This is the 90 ml, so I believe it's the largest size. If not, then it's definitely one of them, but I think it's the largest size. Maybe it only even comes in one size, who knows? And I noticed that this is a refillable one. So, you know, if it reaches that point where I actually finish a fragrance, and I finish this one in particular, I can take it to Shoppers or wherever they do refills and get it refilled. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So here she is. Of course, I feel like there was very mixed reviews about the bottle when it first came out. There were a lot of people that really, really loved it, and there were some that didn't like it. And the same goes for the scent. Like, I feel like this kind of scent is either your vibe or it's not. And with L'Interdit, it's the same thing. So it's definitely my vibe. There is the jasmine and tuberose are, I mean, stunning. We will refresh my memory because it has been a while, obviously, since that sample, but I love it. You know what I'll say about this is, because I obviously know people say that it reminds them of Interdit. For me, this fragrance is what would happen if So Scandal by Jean Paul Gaultier and L'Interdit, either the Eau de Toilette or the Eau de Parfum, basically just one of the like originals, not one of the other flankers, had a baby. They had a daughter, and she really was thriving and was 50% of each, maybe 60% So Scandal, 40% Interdit. That's what My Way is. There's definitely elements of both. For me, it's a little bit more reminiscent of So Scandal personally, because it has, all 3 of them have a grapiness, but it like Interdit has a little bit of like a grapey bubblegummy vibe, because the tuberose in that can get quite bubblegummy, whereas I feel like So Scandal gets more just grapey. And this reminds me of more of a just grapey. I adore it. This kind of scent, a grapey orange blossom and an orange blossom, a tuberose that gets bubblegummy and a grapey orange blossom combined will never not be me. I mean, I know that's a double negative, but that is just my kryptonite. Like there is something about those two scents on their own, and then definitely even more so when they come together, that excites me. Like it just makes me happy. It's delicious. Like I will never get tired of that mix. The one thing I think that sets this apart from both of those is that it has a touch of it's hard to say, but it has like a touch of greenness that I'm careful about using that word because this isn't a green fragrance, but the other two really don't at all smell like the stems or any part of like the greenery of the flowers. They just smell like that super orange blossom and super bubblegummy tuberose and, you know, a bunch of all the other things that make those scents what they are. This has a touch of smelling the actual like leaves and vines of those flowers. Again, like a sprinkle, but because it's what sets it apart from those two, I thought it was worth a mention. It's what's interesting to me from those two, and if I only had to pick one, it would be a different game. But now that I own all three, like that's what's most interesting about this one. I'm not saying it's my favorite thing about it, but it's what I would use when if I were smelling them blind. It's what would set this one apart for me the most, is that element of just, and it's just a smidge, but it's just enough. So anyways, I went on a huge rant about that, but I mean, bottle wise, I do like it. I really like the base, which I know is a weird thing to mention, but it's not like flat, like it kind of has rounded edges, and I just like the way it feels when you set it down. I like the way it feels. I like that design element basically, and I haven't really seen that on little to any of my bottles, and I think that really sets it apart. Obviously this like blue stone and the name and everything is pretty. This is a good release from Armani in my books. I really do like it, and now I have it as part of my collection and on a deal. Oh my god, I'm so excited. All right, now we're gonna move along to the second fragrance that I had smelled before. Again, oh my god, it's surprising because this time around I feel like I'm way more excited for the scents that I'd already smelled, which is so unlike me. But it's because I've been on a many-year hunt to try to finish my collection of the Jardin series, the garden series from Hermes. There were 6 fragrances, I believe. I own 3 of them. There's 3 left, but now I have a 4th. And it's not that you can't find them. They're all, I believe, I don't think any of them are discontinued. I've smelled all of them. I currently don't even own my favorite of the range, which is crazy, but I like put them off. I get them for whatever reason. I sprinkle up like getting them in between many other hauls, I guess to kind of keep it exciting for myself in part, but also I just want to see if I can get them like even more so on a deal. So this one was exciting to find at Winners, and it's Un Jardin Sur Le Nil. I didn't have this one. I felt for a minute that I did, and so I was checking my like Excel sheet with all my fragrances a million times, but I don't. It's just that I really like it. And this is the set, so it comes with the perfumed body lotion as well. I've kept it in the box for now, just wanting to open with you guys, but this lists a lot of notes, and it's the 50 ml of the fragrance. It has grapefruit, green mango, tomato, carrot, bulrush, which are those like plants that kind of, they're like brown and long. Anyways, I had to look it up, but it's interesting because I'd never seen it before. Lotus, orange, hyacinth, peony, musk, iris, incense, labdanum, and cinnamon. And so we're gonna take this perfumed body lotion, put her on the side, and take out the scent itself. Here she is, Un Jardin Sur Le Nil. So I have currently Un Jardin Sur le Toit, Un Jardin, Le Jardin de Missoni, and Un Jardin Sur la Lagune, I believe. So now I have this 4th. I'm missing the Mediterranean one, which is my favorite of the range, and I can't believe I don't have it yet, but I'm like holding out. And I forget what the other one's called, but I'm missing Mediterranean and then whatever that other one is. Oh, Mousson. Après la Mousson, I think. So one day I will get all of them, and then you'll definitely get a full Jardin video series from me, because I know you've mentioned it before. So let's rediscover this scent, because I have smelled this fragrance 1,000,001 times in Sephora, just like all the others. And I know that this one in particular, just like Lagune, is one that people are very hit or miss with. And honestly, I get it. I feel like only this range, only the Jardin series by Hermes could make me love this scent. And I know that's hard to explain, but there is something about these fragrances in this range that just speak to me. I feel like they do realistic, watery, airy, like interesting florals in a very approachable way, and yet they're very unique. Like, I don't feel like they're just your run-of-the-mill floral by any means. Even Lagune, which is my least favorite of the entire range, and I actually own it, is still like approachable enough for me. This one's definitely interesting. It's very, very unique. It's very devoid of sweetness, and I want to mention that because I know that not everyone can handle when a fragrance is just like empty of sweetness in any way. And this certainly is. It's the first time where I feel like I've seen carrot in a fragrance and I actually can smell it, because I've seen carrot and carrot seed shown up before, and I'm like, I don't smell that. I'm sure it's in there, but I don't smell it. This is the first time I can actually smell carrot, which is so interesting because it's like, it's the only time I've been able to. And I don't hate it. It is very interesting though, because everything about this should be something I find hard to wear or hard to like, and yet it works. Like, there is a real dry, spiced powderiness to it, which is not powdery in any other way, but it just actually smells like almost unscented powder. Like, it's very, very dry. There's some spices in there, and I feel like I smell carrot and a whole lot of, it's like green notes. It's like, it's hard to place any one of them, and I can't really, it's not like it's mossy, it's not like it smells like super herbal, but at the same time it smells very green. I definitely get kind of like a vegetable-y scent and a very dry powder. I know I'm not selling it in a way where it's like easy to explain, but I definitely think Un Jardin Sur Le Nil is one that you need to try before buying. I don't think it's blind buy safe at all, and it's one that I wouldn't have even, I don't even know if I would be super into it if I hadn't tried it beforehand. So I'm really, really happy that I did, and I'm really happy to have it as part of my collection, obviously, but it's very unique, and I feel like the other ones in the range you can get away with a lot more. Even Lagune, you can get away with getting blind a lot easier than you can with this one. Definitely try it out, but I do encourage you to try it out if you feel like you're looking for something different, you're looking to smell something very different in kind of like a higher end designer range, then this smells a lot more niche than you would expect it to because of the name or the range or what have you. I definitely encourage you to try it out, but sample before you buy. All right, so now we're gonna go to the two blind buys, and one's in a huge set and one's the ones I'm most nervous about. So we'll go to the one in the huge set. We'll leave the most nervous for last because I really did take a bit of a risk with that purchase. And so we'll start with this fragrance, and that is Missoni's Eau de Toilette. We've got the whole set here. This is my first and only Missoni fragrance, and I was excited because I've never seen Missoni in any of like these Winners Marshall stores before. And this had like a huge set and it was a really good deal. So there's the shower gel, the perfumed body lotion, a roller ball, or maybe it's a spray, we'll see. But basically like a 10 mil, I think. Yeah, 10 mil, which is a spray. Wonderful. And then the full size bottle as well. So we will just take the full size bottle because maybe I will give away the roller ball or the 10 mil spray. So this is what it looks like. I do really like the coloring. It kind of looks like the coloring of Taj Sunset by Escada, which I don't own. I just remember that was very hyped up for a while there, but it just looks like a beautiful sunset. I'm very into the colors. And this lists water lily, blood orange, pear, pink pepper, peony, rosewater, freesia, heliotrope, white cedar, musk, and woody notes. The notes seemed pretty on par with my taste. I felt like it was safe enough. I felt like it was a really good deal. It was very, very inexpensive. And I was excited to try a new house. So let's get into it. Obviously this is a blind buy and we'll just rediscover it together. It had surprisingly good reviews. So let's see. Ooh, okay. Wow, this is so good. This is very juicy. I definitely get pear in this, but it's really good because I'm not a huge fan of the note, but sometimes it really works. There's definitely like, oh, there's sweet citrus, pear, heliotrope. It's very, like the florals in this. I don't really get rosewater. I was wondering if I'd pick that up because I'm very familiar with rosewater as a scent. I don't get that. It doesn't smell like rosewater to me, but it's a very fruity floral that's juicy and I'm actually into it. It has almost like a, it has like an underlying clean musk to it that I'm really into. I just think it smells good. Like this makes me want to take it away on holiday. This just smells like, oh, it's so delicious. It's very girly. It's a fruity floral. The peony is not too strong in this at all. And usually I wouldn't be like wowed over a quote unquote normal fruity floral, but something about this, it just smells good. So it's hard to not be into it. I really like that clean musk in it as well. I hope that kind of stays around and it's in the base. So I hope as it dries down, it's even more strongly like leaning into that note. But honestly, as a first impression, very surprised. I'm happy I started with that one because we are about to move along to the last one. And the last one is a fragrance I've actually seen in Marshall's several times over the past 2 years. And I've never picked it up. I've always left it there. I've always picked up something else or nothing at all. And it's because really no part of this scent seems like it should be for me at all. And the only reason I would have picked it up is because it's by a house I really enjoy. And from, fragrances I really like respect from this house that I guess I was just really feeling good this day after these 3 finds that I gave in and I picked it up. And it's by Hermes. It's Twilly d'Hermes, the Eau Poivree. Now, for those of you who speak French like myself, Eau Poivree literally means peppered water. In this case, it's obviously like eau from eau de parfum, which is totally different, but you get what I mean. It means peppered. And if you know me, I hate pink pepper and black pepper, all pepper in fragrances. I hate when that's prominent in a fragrance. This is literally, quite literally on the box and in the notes telling me it will be that. So in these cases, I really only have myself to blame, and I know that. The notes also, just in case pink pepper wasn't bad enough, list patchouli as a second note, which is my arch nemesis, and I don't understand why it has to be in every fragrance. And then finally, we have rose, thank God. But so many people like the original Twilly, and I've even heard people really liking this. And it was an Hermes fragrance on sale, and I think I was a little bit thrown from finding this, that I was like, just grab any Hermes you can find, why not? It does have a little like a mini mock like Hermes scarf thing. The bottle is cute, I have to say, but I really have low expectations for this. So we'll discover it together, but I just wanted to give you guys that background because you might be thinking, what is she thinking? I might be really wowed, who knows? Okay. It's very strange. It definitely smells peppery, but I'm kind of thrown by it because I will spray it just on the palm of my hand. Actually, I want to. Yeah. It smells. There's a part of me that is experiencing like a lot of flashbacks right now because this smells like an old like family home of ours, like the actual house itself, which is throwing me because in that way it's like, oh, that's sweet. But in another way, that isn't necessarily like a scent I want to smell like on me. It smells kind of peppery and green. There is a hint of florals that it's as if like a rose is screaming from the other side of a stadium. Like, you know it's there, but how strong is it really? But yeah, it's very much what I was expecting in that it's not a love, but I wasn't expecting it to remind me of the way like this old house smelled. I'm gonna have to play around with this one. Maybe it's the kind of mixture of all these other scents, but I need to do like a full wear test because this has the quality to it where I feel like it might actually change a lot more than what you would think throughout the entire wear test. And in that way, because it's already kind of changing. Like the one on my elbow here smells a bit different and it's smelling better. It's just interesting. I'm not mad that I got it because it doesn't just smell like pepper and water, which one of my fragrances in my collection definitely does, and that's like triggered me ever since. But I'm gonna have to give it some time because it's an interesting one, I'll put it that way. But yeah, okay, so now we're gonna put our fragrances, or my fragrances rather, in order of what I'm most to least excited about. And I'm actually surprised at myself because in last place, I might put, ooh, this is actually surprising because other things have, in last place I'm gonna put Twilly d'Hermes. I feel like I need some more time to explore this, but it might move up to third, you know, as I start to wear it more. It's definitely a more interesting of like a pepper forward fragrance for me. So that already earned it some points. And the fact that it's Eau Poivree and I don't immediately hate it, I have to say is impressive enough. In third place is actually Un Jardin Sur Le Nil. Another fragrance jumped up to second for sure. And while I like this, I just know even for me, it's gonna be a fragrance I wear less often than some of my other ones because it's just very interesting. Like, you have to be in the mood for it. I'm glad I own it, but you definitely have to be in the mood for it. And I don't know, maybe this one will end up being easier to wear. I'm not sure, but those two are definitely in the bottom, which is surprising to Hermes, but that's the way it goes. In second place, and I was surprised, is actually this Missoni. I keep smelling it on my hand, and it definitely reminds me of a product, like either a shampoo or a conditioner or body wash or something that I've tried that I really liked. I'm very into this. I actually can't wait to do a full wear test, and that always is like an indication for me that I'm into a fragrance during these first impressions, if I already want to wear it again and figure it out excitingly. So that's in second place. And a close first would be My Way. I mean, it was going to be hard to bump this one. It's got two of my favorite notes in my favorite way, and that's My Way. And I just really like everything about it. The only reason I didn't have it yet was I was waiting for a deal, and here we are. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. As always, don't forget to leave me in the comments below which one of these fragrances you've tried or you'd like to try. I love to hear from you all. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, subscribe over here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.